thing I love about my relationship with Christian, we have respect for each other. Granted, we're gonna disagree about things, but the way you speak to someone, it is everlasting.
The courtroom was silent. Not the kind of silence that feels peaceful, the kind that feels heavy, the kind that makes your heart race because everyone knows something life-changing is about to happen. Jennifer Williams sat frozen in her seat, her hands trembling in her lap. Just a few feet away sat the man she once called her husband, the man she trusted, the man she defended, the man she believed would stand beside her for the rest of her life. But on this day, there would be no happy ending. As the judge looked down from the bench and prepared to announce the sentence, Jennifer's eyes filled with tears. Months of stress, months of public humiliation, months of unanswered questions. It had all led to this moment. Then the words finally came. The judge ordered her husband to prison, and just like that, Jennifer broke down.
Reality person, and you have to tell your truth because people see right through it. And unfortunately, I've been in some bad relationships. I've been in some good ones too, but I just think it's important to just share your story because you never know who you're affecting or how someone else can learn from.
The cameras outside the courtroom would later capture the tears, the heartbreak, and the pain written all over her face. But what those cameras couldn't capture was the emotional storm happening inside her. Because this wasn't just a legal case. This was the collapse of a marriage, a betrayal she never saw coming, and a painful reminder that sometimes the people who promise to protect you end up hurting you the most. As news of the sentencing spread across social media, fans were left stunned. How did Jennifer Williams end up here? How did a woman who spent years searching for happiness find herself standing outside a courthouse watching her husband get taken away? And more importantly, what really happened behind closed doors? To understand the heartbreak that unfolded in that courtroom, we have to go back to the beginning. For years, Jennifer Williams built a life in front of the public. Fans first got to know her as one of the standout personalities on Basketball Wives. She was glamorous, successful, outspoken, and confident. Even when drama followed her, Jennifer always seemed to find a way to keep moving forward. But behind the designer clothes, luxury vacations, and reality television fame was a woman searching for something many people want: real love. Over the years, viewers watched Jennifer experience ups and downs in relationships. Some romances ended publicly, others became topics of blog posts and social media debates. Every breakup seemed to come with criticism. Some people blamed Jennifer. Others defended her.
I knew a month in that Jennifer was the one. And I told Jennifer when we were dating, I said, I'm not here to waste your.
But through it all, Jennifer continued hoping that one day she would find the right person, someone who would love her for who she was, someone who would bring stability instead of chaos, someone she could trust. So when she introduced fans to the man who would later become her husband, many people believed she had finally found exactly that. At first, everything seemed perfect. The relationship appeared mature. There wasn't constant drama, there weren't daily headlines about arguments or public fights. Instead, fans saw smiles, romantic photos, and promises about a future together. Jennifer looked happy, really happy. Friends noticed the difference. Family members appeared supportive. Even longtime fans began celebrating what looked like a fresh start. After years of heartbreak, Jennifer seemed ready to begin a new chapter.
Jennifer brings me so much peace, and that's very important in a relationship. You know, to be able to just come home and it be home,
Yeah.
and not be, because we, especially as Black men, we deal with so much in the world anyway when we wake up, right? So being able to come home and she's just peaceful, and we just know we get on each other's nerves sometimes, but that's that's love,
That's
right?
love,
But it's amazing. Like, I've never loved it.
But here's the twist. Sometimes the most dangerous relationships don't start with red flags. Sometimes they start with flowers, with compliments, with promises, with someone telling you exactly what you want to hear. And according to people close to the situation, that's exactly what happened. As time passed, small concerns started appearing. Nothing major at first, just little things. Questions that didn't have clear answers, stories that didn't quite add up, behavior that seemed strange. Jennifer reportedly brushed many of those concerns aside. After all, when you're in love, it's easy to give someone the benefit of the doubt. It's easy to believe explanations. It's easy to trust. But eventually, the questions became harder to ignore. What nobody expected was that those questions would lead to one of the biggest scandals Jennifer had ever faced. As more information surfaced, rumors began spreading online. Bloggers started digging, fans started investigating. People began sharing old records, court information, and claims about Jennifer's husband. At first, Jennifer stood by him. She defended her marriage. She defended the man she loved. She believed they could get through the controversy together. But behind the scenes, pressure was building. Every day seemed to bring a new headline. Every day brought new accusations. Every day brought new public scrutiny. And slowly, the fairy tale began to crack. Then came the shocking developments that changed everything. Investigators reportedly uncovered information that painted a very different picture from the one Jennifer had been shown. The man she trusted was suddenly facing serious legal problems. The accusations weren't minor misunderstandings. These were allegations that carried real consequences, consequences that could lead directly to prison. Suddenly, Jennifer found herself trapped in an impossible situation. If she stood by her husband, people questioned her judgment. If she walked away, she would be accused of abandoning him. No matter what she did, somebody had an opinion. And that's one of the hardest parts of living life in the public eye. Everyone watches, everyone comments, everyone thinks they know your story, but nobody truly understands what you're going through. As legal proceedings moved forward, Jennifer became increasingly quiet. The woman who once shared so much of her life with fans started pulling back. She posted less, she spoke less, she appeared emotionally drained. Friends reportedly worried about her, not because of the headlines, but because of the emotional weight she was carrying. Imagine finding out that the person you trusted most might not be who you believed they were. Imagine waking up every morning to another negative headline. Imagine having your marriage discussed by millions of strangers. That's the reality Jennifer was facing. And then came the day of the sentencing, the day everything became real. Inside the courtroom, emotions were running high. Family members sat quietly, lawyers reviewed final documents, reporters waited for updates, and Jennifer sat there knowing her life was about to change forever. When the judge began speaking, every word seemed to carry enormous weight. The courtroom listened carefully. Then came the decision: prison. The sentence was official. There would be no more speculation, no more waiting, no more uncertainty. Jennifer's husband was going to prison. Witnesses described the moment as emotional. Jennifer reportedly struggled to hold back tears. Years of hope, trust, and belief came crashing down all at once. Because despite everything that had happened, this was still someone she once loved, someone she imagined growing old with, someone she built dreams around. And now that chapter was ending in the most painful way possible. As officers prepared to escort her husband away, Jennifer's composure finally cracked. The tears came. Not because she agreed with what happened, not because she disagreed, but because grief is complicated, love is complicated, betrayal is complicated. You can feel hurt and still mourn. You can feel angry and still cry. You can know someone disappointed you and still struggle to let go. That is what made this moment so heartbreaking. Outside the courthouse, cameras captured every expression, every tear, every painful glance. Within minutes, those images spread across social media. People debated, people judged, people speculated. But what many failed to realize was that Jennifer wasn't celebrating, she wasn't winning, she was surviving. The emotional damage left behind couldn't be fixed by a court ruling. The trust that had been broken couldn't be restored with a sentence. The memories couldn't simply be erased. And in the weeks that followed, Jennifer faced one of the hardest challenges of her life: starting over. Friends reportedly became her support system. Family members rallied around her. Slowly, she began rebuilding, not just her public image, but herself. Because the truth is, scandals eventually fade, headlines eventually disappear, the internet eventually moves on. But healing takes time. Real healing happens when the cameras leave, when the microphones disappear, when you're finally alone with your thoughts. And that's where Jennifer found herself, learning how to trust again, learning how to move forward, learning how to accept that sometimes the people we love the most become the people who hurt us the deepest. But perhaps the most powerful part of Jennifer's story isn't the courtroom drama, it's what happened afterward. Instead of allowing heartbreak to define her, she kept going. Instead of allowing betrayal to destroy her, she kept rebuilding. Instead of letting one painful chapter become her entire story, she chose to create a new one. Because at the end of the day, prison wasn't the biggest punishment in this story. The biggest punishment was losing trust, losing love, losing the future that once seemed guaranteed. And while Jennifer's tears outside that courtroom showed pain, they also showed something else: strength. The strength to face reality, the strength to walk away from a broken chapter, and the strength to keep moving forward when life doesn't go the way you planned. Because sometimes survival is the real victory, and sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is stand up after their world falls apart and decide to begin again. Jennifer Williams walked into that courtroom as a wife facing uncertainty. She walked out as a woman forced to rebuild her life. And while the headlines focused on prison, the real story was something much deeper. It was a story about trust, about heartbreak, about betrayal, and about finding the courage to keep going when everything you believed in suddenly falls apart. And that may be the lesson Jennifer will carry long after the courtroom lights fade and the cameras stop rolling.